Okay, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show, and we're going to take advantage of the good weather that we're having today. And we do have some shadows and lights there, so that'll make it a little less than perfect, but what the heck do you expect from an amateur like me? Anyway, we're going to try some reception testing. We're outside. There is a power line about 30 feet from me, so normally it doesn't cause any problems, but you never know. And we're going to check out, we're not comparing these two, we're just taking advantage of the weather and going to do reception testing of these two radios. This is the CCrane SKYwave radio, and this is the Degen DE13 emergency radio, which also has a shortwave band. So we're going to start with the Degen first, and we're going to put the telescopic antenna. It is 3:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time in Florida. Conditions typically start getting better after 3 o'clock here in the afternoon, so hopefully they'll be pretty good. We will see. And I don't know if it's in the we're also very, very close to a little airport that's line of sight about a mile from me, and the flight path is about a block from me. So that's, you're going to hear the little airplanes coming and going. So anyway, we're going to turn this on, and hopefully it still has a charge. Yeah, it does. And we're on shortwave band 1, which goes from 5.8 megahertz to 10 megahertz. And we'll see what we can get. Straighten the antenna up here. And I hope this is showing up. I have no idea whether it is or not. Something there, I can't quite tune it in. It's about 6.5 megahertz. Yeah, I couldn't tune it in. Oh, here comes another plane. They're all coming home. Not too much on the lower band here. There we go. That's our good old buddy from Tennessee. Loud and clear. It's about 8.5 megahertz. Okay, that's enough of him. There's another station there. Not sure what that is. It looks like it's about 8.7 megahertz maybe. Pretty strong. Went on. Whoop, there's a loud one. Spanish speaking. Another Spanish. Couldn't quite get that one in. There's our good buddy from Tennessee again, up at maybe 9.2 megahertz. There he is again. Ooh. That's about 9.5 something. Another Spanish station. about 9.6, 9.7. There's another one, Spanish. There's our good buddy again. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised I can't get WWV on this. Okay, let's switch to shortwave 2, which goes from 11.6 megahertz to 18.2. And we're going to start at 18.2 and work down. There's something there. I lost it now. It's another station. Kind of weak. At about maybe 17.9, I'm guessing. Whoa. Wherever that was, it was loud. I lost it now. Where'd you go? There was something there for a second. It was really loud. Can't find it again. There's something that's pretty weak. Maybe 17.5. Spanish speaking. Don't know what that is. Now, one thing I might be getting is I have a CB operator down at the end of the block who runs a lot of power. He's got a humongous antenna, and he bleeds all over my radios, all bands. So sometimes I pick him up, and it's kind of Donald Duck, so I can't understand what he's saying because it might be single sideband. That sounds like some kind of digital data. We're down to about 8.5 megahertz. There's one. That's the religious station. I don't remember where it's out of, but it's not far away. Loud and clear.
When you clothed me, when you gave me shelter, you loved me, all these things. And
boy,
the disciple said, well, God, when did Jesus,
that is
when
loud.
did we do?
There's one close by. It's a little weak. About 8.1 megahertz. There's that lady again. Strong. About 7.6 megahertz. I'm guessing at the frequency. Spanish station. Spanish language station. Because a lot of the international stations broadcast in various languages, and Spanish is one of the many they use. Another Spanish station at probably 7.2. Not sure what that is. There's our lady again. That's my CV buddy. When he's on the air, he's all over the bands. He's probably running a kilowatt of power. And he usually does it on Sunday and Saturday afternoons. And I've I've even occasionally picked him up on a pair of speakers with the radio turned off. It just comes into the speaker coils. There's some music at about 6.2. Very strong Spanish speaking. I think that's out of Tennessee. Okay, so that's that radio. That's the Degen DE13. Now we'll go to the CCrane SKYwave radio. We'll turn it on, extend its antenna. Let's see, it's about the same. No, it's a little longer than the Degen. Yeah, I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to use the ATS function to get through it quicker because we're running pretty long on this video. There we go. So it starts at the lower international band, 2.3 megahertz, and it's scanning. So far it's not found anything it likes. I'm going to take my hands off of it. It's up to 5.9 and hasn't found anything it liked. Again, I'm using the ATS function. And the bandwidth is set to 3 kilohertz, which is the default. I did get a response back from CCrane, and he does say that you can adjust the bandwidth, and it does take effect when you're using the ATS function. So you can affect how the ATS function works by changing the bandwidth. Okay, so far we found nothing. Okay, there we, oh no, I take that back, I just couldn't see it. We're actually up to 10. We got 10 stations and or noise that we found. Again, this type of testing can take a long time, and I don't want to run the video too long. So that's why I'm cheating and using the ATS function. And I'll go through what it found, and then I'll do some scanning of a couple bands, try to wrap this up. It's up to page 2, channel 2 already. About to finish up here. There it finished. Okay, we're on page 1, channel 1. This is what I found. Turn the volume up. Spanish station. Very clear. And now, of course, I can see what the frequency is, 5.025. And let's go to number 2, 9.370. That's our good buddy on the religious station in Tennessee. Go to 3. Spanish music, 9.445. Ooh, full scale, 9.565. Spanish, 5. Spanish, very strong, 6. 9.980. Again, the religious gentleman, 7. Nothing heard. 8. Oh, there it is. It should tell me what it is, but I don't know what it is. 12.05. Radio Ringo or something. That's 8, 9. A lot of Spanish. 10. Sounds like Latin. Oh, WWCR. Yeah. Well, I'm listening to you on 12.16 megahertz. Okay, we'll go to page 2 and channel 1. The volume's a little low, but it's clear. Sounds like... Yeah, I can't say. It's 15.14. Very clear. Full scale. Well, sometimes it's full scale. Let's go to 2. Loud and clear. Probably out of Tennessee. 15.275. 3. And I guess that's where it stopped because it went back down in frequency, which means that's probably a preloaded frequency. So you can see this radio did very well, and the stations it got come in very strong. Again, I'm not trying to compare the reception of these two radios. This is an $80, $89 radio, and this is a $27 radio. So I'm not trying to compare the two, but just wanted to, at this time, since I had weather conditions, everything, I wanted to do a reception test on both radios. So that's the test for today. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. I hope it showed up. We never know, because I really, really need a cameraman. Bye-bye. Now I'll see if I can get up without tripping over the camera. And we're hopefully... Morning, this is Tom Styles, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And band conditions for shortwave still remain fair, and it's not really fair at my location, to poor, which it is at my location. Actually, I would classify it as terrible. As you can tell, I'm trying to listen to WWV this morning to see what conditions are, and they're just terrible. You know, WWV will come in for a few seconds, then it'll go back out for a minute, and then it'll come in for a few seconds, and then go back out. And the whole band, all the bands are just like that. I'm just very frustrated, and I'm even more frustrated. Let me turn some lights on here. Sorry for the delay. I also had to turn the fan off. I can't believe it's warmed up again here in Florida. So our little cool spell is gone. Supposed to return this weekend, but it's kind of like band conditions. It's here and bad. Well, anyway, moving on. Gee whiz. Sorry for all the negativity, but let me show you what I'm frustrated about. About a week ago, one of my subscribers sent me this antenna. It's a loop antenna made by Sony. It's an ANLP1. I've wanted one of these for years, but they're kind of on the expensive side for the type of antenna they are. And they were originally designed by Sony to work with some of their shortwave radios. Now, the reason I say that is some of the older Sony shortwave radios, portable radios, provided a DC voltage on the external antenna jack, and that DC voltage could be used to drive the little preamplifier that comes with this antenna, or it has a place for putting batteries in the preamplifier, so if you don't have that kind of radio, then it still will work. So I've been wanting to show this off, and I've been wanting to show it off when I'm getting, you know, good reception, not excellent reception, but I just get, when I got some stations to try it out on, you know, right now I'm at a loss to even find weak stations or strong stations that are weak. So I'm very frustrated, and maybe, you know, maybe this is a good time to test it under those conditions to see if it can pull in those strong stations that are weak right now. Yeah, I might do that. So anyway, I thought, what the heck, I'm going to go ahead and at least show you the antenna, not necessarily demonstrate it. So right now in this show, I'm just going to show you the antenna, tell you about it, and maybe I'll go ahead and do a show where I demonstrate it even in under these bad band conditions. So let's dig it out of the box here. It comes in this nice pouch, and it's really, you know, designed to carry with you when you travel, or to go to the park, or in the middle of the forest, or whatever. So it's got this nice traveling pack, and it's a loop antenna, like I said. And let me dump the guts out here. Okay, there's all the goodies. Now, one thing that was a huge disappointment, it's got all kinds of documentation. It's all written in Chinese. There's nothing in English. So unfortunately, I don't read, speak, or even know Chinese, so, or Japanese. I guess it's Japanese. So that's kind of a disappointment. Although it's pretty straightforward, and they do have, for us brain dead people like myself, yeah, whatever. Just have pictures. So just follow the pictures and you know what you're doing. Okay. So comes with two AA Sony batteries. Am I pronouncing that right? Who cares? This is a noise filter, and you can put this in line or you can leave it out. I saw a video on this antenna by my good friend Steve Carter, and you ought to check out his videos. He does some pretty interesting videos, and he told us what this was about. It's basically a coil to reduce noise, in addition to the noise reduction capability of the loop antenna itself. So you can use this or not use this. And he showed plugging it in and taking it out and what it did to the signal. Okay. The next thing it comes with is this preamplifier filter module, and it's got a tuning dial here. This antenna works from just below 4 megahertz to just above 20 megahertz, and like other amplified antennas, or antennas with an amplifier slash filter, each time you change the frequency on your radio, you have to retune this dial for optimum reception. So when you first look at this, you see this big dial here, and you think, that's a fine tuning dial or something like that. Well, it's not. What it is the cable that goes to the antenna right here is on a little reel, so you can wind it back up when you're not using it. So that's what that's for. And then this is the knob right here for tuning it to the correct frequency. This is the on-off button. The off position is also called standby, because Sony back then, when this came out, had radios that had a DC voltage on their external antenna jack that could supply power to this thing, and then you didn't have to put batteries in this. And so when you turn the radio on, it supplied power and turned on the electronics inside this. So that's what that was all about. Otherwise, if you're using batteries in this thing and your radio doesn't have that capability, then you just use this on-off button and turn it on. So that's how that works. Down at the base here is the cable, and it wraps around here and stores away. This goes to your radio. Or, let me put this back. But neatly, it's a neat design the way this tucks away and makes it portable. Or they supply this adapter, which that cable plugs in here, and then this is a clip to clip onto your telescopic antenna on your radio, your non-Sony radio. Now it doesn't work. It's all of, how am I going to say this? Not all of Sony's portable radios supply that voltage. As a matter of fact, it says on the box, which is on the floor, it says on the box, applicable to Sony world band receivers, except, and then it lists 3 radios that it doesn't work with as far as providing power. So not all of them provide power. Snap that back in place. So what you do is this folds up, and there's the full antenna extended, and it's about, I'm guessing 18 inches, yeah, about 18 inches across. And then here's the connector for either, let me turn my little fan off here so I don't hurt myself. There. So you can either plug in this extra filter in the base of this, or you can leave it out and plug in the cable. You unreel some of this cable. You can plug this into the base, and that's all there is to it. So there it's hooked up, and on the top here it has a little clip and a suction cup, so you can hang this thing, and away you go. So that's how it works. I've read lots of reviews on it. This was sent, as I said, this was sent to me by one of my subscribers. I've been wanting one of these for years. I got my first Sony radio that this will work with, and that particular radio will supply power, gosh, 15 years ago, which is when this came out. And I've always wanted one of these, but back then, when they were new, they were close to $200, which is kind of expensive. So anyway, I thank the gentleman that sent me this. It's a brand new, right out of the box, antenna. He got this off of Amazon, I believe. And I really have been going nuts because I want to test this out, but I was hoping band conditions were at least a little bit better. And unfortunately, lately they have not been too good. So I may go ahead tonight maybe, and if band conditions are good or bad or whatever, test this out and show you how it works, and see how much it improves reception. I want to test it in my office because that's a high RF noise environment, and see if it improves things, and I'll test it down in my workshop, which is a lot better environment for listening to shortwave. So that's the show for today. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. Again, thanks to the gentleman that sent me this. I really appreciate it, and we're going to do a full check out of it maybe tonight or when conditions improve. Also, I want to thank everybody that has subscribed. We're getting very close to that 5,000 subscribers. Also, I got a major thing that's going to happen. Is it may have happened overnight, I didn't check, but we are close to 1 million views. 1 million views, and that's all brought about by you, the viewers and subscribers. So I want to thank you all for doing that. I still don't know what constitutes a view. I think it has something to do with how much of a video you watch. I don't know if it's like, if you watch at least 1 minute, then it's considered a view, or if it's a percentage or what. I don't know. But anyway, we're close to 1 million views, which is, I think it's pretty good considering, you know, we have a limited topic that I talk about, and whatever. Have a nice day. Hope the bands improve, and they're going to improve. I guarantee that the bands will improve. I can only say that because they're so bad right now. Bye-bye.